Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Little Muslim Kids. We're so happy to have you here again on our journey through the amazing life of Prophet Muhammad. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. In today's episode, we will discover what happened after the very first revelation. How did the Prophet, may the peace and blessings to Allah be upon him, begin sharing the message of Islam? Who were the first people to believe in him? Let's find out together in this beautiful and inspiring story. After the first revelation in the cave of Hira, everything changed. Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, now knew he was chosen by Allah to deliver his message to the world. But how would he begin? Who would believe him? And how would the people of Mecca respond? This is the story of the very beginning of Islam, the first believers, the first prayers, and the first steps in spreading the light of truth. After the angel Jibreel brought the first verses of the Qur'an, Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, waited for more guidance. Days passed. Then, more verses came, and Allah instructed him to begin calling people to Islam, first in private. The first person to believe in him was his wife, Khadijah bint Khuwaylid, may Allah be pleased with her. She didn't hesitate. She had always known his honesty, kindness, and truthfulness. She was the first Muslim. Next came Ali bin Abi Talib, his young cousin, who was only about 10 years old. He accepted Islam secretly and would pray with the Prophet when no one was watching. Then came Zayd bin Haritha, the Prophet's adopted son, and Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, his closest friend. When Abu Bakr accepted Islam, he became a strong helper in spreading the message. Through him, others embraced Islam, people like Uthman bin Affan, Abdur Rahman bin Awf, as Zubair bin al-Awwam, and Talha bin Ubaidullah, all of whom would later become great companions and leaders in Islam. At this stage, the message was spread in secret. Muslims would meet in private, away from the eyes of the Quraysh. One of their main gathering places was the house of al-Arqam bin Abi al-Arqam, located near Mount Safa. It became the first center of Islamic learning. There, the Prophet, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, would teach the Qur'an, encourage the believers, and guide them with wisdom. These early Muslims were few, but their faith was strong. As more people entered Islam, the Quraysh began to take notice. They didn't understand what the Prophet was preaching. They were afraid that their idols would be insulted and that their control over Mecca would weaken. So, they began to mock, insult, and threaten the Muslims. Yet, the Prophet, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, remained patient. He continued to teach about one God, about truth and justice, about kindness to the poor, and about honesty and mercy. The early Muslims also showed great strength. Bilal ibn Rabah, a slave who became Muslim, was beaten badly for believing in Allah. But he kept repeating, Ahad, Ahad, one God. Some Muslims were hurt. Some had to hide their faith. But their belief only grew stronger. These early days of Islam show us something beautiful. Islam started not with an army or power, but with faith, love, and truth. The first Muslims were from all walks of life, rich and poor, young and old, free and enslaved. They believed even when no one else did. They stood by the Prophet, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and never gave up, even when life was hard. They teach us the value of being strong in our faith. That sometimes, telling the truth and doing the right thing can be difficult. But with patience, prayer, and the help of Allah, victory always comes. This was the beginning of the Ummah, the community of Muslims. From a small house in Mecca, the light of Islam began to shine. In the next episode, we'll see how the Prophet, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, commanded to make his message public. What happens when he climbs Mount Safa to speak to the people? How do they respond? Stay with us on this journey. The story of Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, is far from over. If this story inspired you, don't forget to Like the video, subscribe to our channel, share with your family and friends. Let's help spread the message of Islam to children all around the world, with love, stories, and light. Story of Prophet Muhammad, for kids, continues soon. Insha'Allah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.